Find your way onto your back, settling into your mat in your Shavasana to begin your practice today. Take your arms and legs out wide away from the center of your body. Soften through the ankles, let your toes grow heavy. The palms face up. Release your head into the mat below, while still maintaining length of the back of your neck. Let go of any external distractions that may be drawing you off of your mat today. Instead, redirect your thoughts to your breath. Taking long inhales and exhales through the nose. As you take a big breath in through the nose, let your belly rise up towards the ceiling. A slow breath out, belly softens and falls. Big breath in, belly rise. A slow breath out as the belly falls. Hold on to that same slow rhythm of breath. Start to slowly awaken the body by wiggling fingers and toes. Find some gentle rotations to the wrists and the ankles in both directions. Draw the feet together at the bottom of the mat and bring the knees in towards the chest, interlacing fingers around the knees or taking hold of the thighs. You can find a gentle rock from side to side, massaging the low back. Find stillness in the center. Let the soles of the feet find the mat. Heel toe, the feet to the outer edge, the right side of your mat. Knees still bent. The feet planted on the mat at the right side. Start to extend the left leg long to the bottom right corner of the mat. The hips are still centered or slightly to the left. Maybe you're already feeling a stretch into the left side body here. Stay where you are. Otherwise, we're going to extend the arms up overhead, resting on the floor. Take a big breath in, lengthen from the pinky toe edge of the left foot all the way up the left fingertips. As you exhale, maybe you start to guide your upper body over to the right as well, creating a C-shaped curve to the left side of your body. So the right leg is still bent here, sole of the right foot on the floor. Left leg is extended long to the bottom right corner of the mat. The hips are centered. The upper body is guiding itself over to the right as well. Option to layer on here if you like by tipping over onto the inner arch of the right foot, bringing the inseam of the right pant leg onto the left leg. So it's as if you're resting the right thigh on the left leg here. If neither of these variations are working for you, you can always extend the right leg long to meet the left. no correct version of this pose, just finding the side bend that works best in your body. Breathing space into your left hips, your left waist, and ribs. Maybe you're even feeling this into the lower, kind of low back area on the left-hand side. Back of your pelvis. Bring the sole of the right foot back onto the mat if it's tipped over. Slide the upper half of your body back through center. Bend at the left knee. Let it join the right as you heel toe the feet through center. Just take a moment here in your neutral, maybe swaying the knees from side to side, let that go. And then we'll move to the opposite side. So starting in the center with the knees bent, feet on the floor. Heel toe your feet to the left side of the mat. Right leg is going to extend long to the bottom left corner of the mat. The hips stay centered or slightly to the right as you walk the upper body over to the left. Again, arms can extend out overhead, resting on the floor, reaching for the left side of the room. You can always release them at your sides if that feels better. The outer right hip is rooted firmly into the mat. An option here to tip over onto the inner arch of the left foot, bringing the left thigh onto the right leg. Keeping in mind that you can give yourself permission at any time to extend the left leg long to meet the right if this is maybe a little too much stretch into the right hip area for you. Come back onto the sole of the left foot first. Slide the upper half of your body through center. Bend the right knee to meet the left as you heel toe through center. Take a gentle rock from side to side with the knees. Let that go. Find stillness in the center. Allow the soles of the feet to come to touch. The knees fall open like a book, creating a diamond shape with the legs. A reclined cobbler's pose. The closer the heels are to the pelvis, the more of a stretch you'll be feeling, so just adjust however you need. Really letting the soles of the feet support one another as the knees grow heavy. Release any effort from the thighs. Maybe it helps to do a few little butterfly motions first, and then soften, relax, and let go of that effort. Take whatever arm variation feels good. Maybe you place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, and just allow the hands to move with your breath, with gentle rise and fall of belly and chest. Keep the left leg just as it is. Start to draw the right knee up through center. Sole of the right foot finds the floor. As you do that, you may feel the left leg sink a little bit deeper down to the mat. That's normal. Keep the left leg just as it is. The inseam of the left pant leg is facing the sky with a bend in the knee. Then we're going to draw the right knee in towards the chest. Interlace your fingers around the knee, or you can take hold of the thigh if you like. Squeeze the right knee in towards your chest. And stay with the right knee towards the midline, or you can start to open it up towards the right side of the room, just beyond the right shoulder. Keep the left knee heavy, reaching down for the mat. The left hip is rooted as well. Sometimes helpful to place the left hand on the left hip or the left pelvis to encourage it into the mat. As you draw the right knee over to the right beyond your shoulder, creating distance between the tips of both of your knees here. You can stay in stillness, or you take some slow motion circles with the right knee. Moving at half the speed your body naturally tries to move. Circling the opposite direction. As you're circling, notice that the left hip is trying to lift up. Can you keep it rooted in the mat? Really isolate the movement to the right. The next time you come through an area of tension, pause there in breath. Really heavy through the left thigh, the left hip, the left knee. Pressing down firm through the pinky toe edge of the left foot. Draw the right knee through center. Extend the left leg long to the bottom of your mat, wind relieving pose. Left leg is active, left toes are drawn towards the face, but the right ankle can soften. Every breath in is finding length from the left heel to the top of your head. Every breath out, hug your right knee in just a little bit closer. The big toe of the left foot continues to point up to the ceiling. The longer you hold this pose, you may feel it start to tip over to the left. The left leg is going to naturally want to take an external rotation. So really stay focused on drawing the left toes through center, with a deep flex in the ankle. Keep the left hand holding onto the right knee, extend the right arm long. Find a twist as you guide the right leg across your body over to the left. Right shoulder's reaching for the mat. The gaze can be at the ceiling or over to the right. Option to place a pillow or a block beneath the right knee to provide a little bit of support and bring the floor up a little bit closer to it. Creating some distance from the right hip to the right shoulder. Draw your gaze back through center. The right knee will follow. Hug the right knee in towards your chest. Let the left leg come in to meet it. Give both of the knees a hug. Lower the soles of the feet onto the mat. Let the soles of the feet come to touch. The knees open up like a book, creating that diamond shape once again. Just noticing differences between one hip and the other, one thigh and the other. If you placed your hand on your belly and heart last time, see if you can switch the hand positions. Opposite hand on the belly, opposite hand on the heart as the last time. Or you can choose whatever arm variation feels good. Rather than using the hands to follow the breath, you can always just use your awareness. Just witness the body moving as you breathe. The right leg starts to grow heavy as you draw the left knee in towards the center. So you're still keeping that kind of diamond shape on the right leg. It'll lower down towards the floor as the left knee finds its way to the midline. Then hug the left knee in towards the chest, interlacing fingers around it. And pressing down firm through the outer edge of the entire right leg, right foot, right hip. Just taking a breath or two here in the center, noticing if you're feeling a lot of tightness or tension where you are, stay right here. If you'd like to find a little bit more, you can start to open the left knee up towards the outer left shoulder. Pause, and when you start to feel the right knee lifting up off of the mat, that could be a sign that you're forcing yourself to go a little bit too far. Keep pressing down through the outer right knee. Breathing into any areas of tension you might be feeling. Stay in the stillness or start to take some gentle rotations through the left leg. Rotating the opposite direction, moving slowly, just noticing where you start to feel tension, pausing there for a breath before moving on. And the next time you find that point of tension, just pause there for a few breaths. Can you soften through the glutes? Soften your face, your jaw, your shoulders, the front of your chest. Draw the left knee up through center. Extend the right leg long, bottom of the mat for wind relieving pose. Again, those right toes are going to point up to the ceiling and draw towards your face. Active right leg as the left knee draws in towards your chest. Keep equal weight on both the inner and outer edge of the right heel rather than tipping to one side. Left knee comes into just the right hand, extend the left arm out long. Find your twist, guide the left knee across your body over to the right, supporting yourself with props however you need. You can keep the right hand on the left knee for some added weight, or you can extend the right arm long beside you. Gaze comes back through center. The left knee will follow. Hug the right knee in to meet the left. This time taking the thighs a little bit wider, creating space between them for the belly to move with breath. All four corners of the pelvis are pressing into the mat. Keep a long spine here. If you're feeling a nice stretch into the hips or the thighs, stay as you are, or you can move into happy baby. Bring the arms to the inside of your thighs. Reach across the shins to take hold of the outer edge of the ankles or the pinky toe edge of your feet. The knees are going to start to reach towards the floor beside your shoulders. The soles of the feet are going to start to reach up to the sky with a bend in the knees. As you do that, watch your low back. It's going to want to lift up off of the mat. See if you can keep that length all the way down your back. A deep flex in both ankles as if you're trying to stand on the ceiling. When you're just starting off in this pose, you may find that you have a little bit less of an angle in the knees. Maybe the heels are closer to your bum, and that's okay. You're better to maintain the long, straight spine, keep the tailbone reaching for the floor, then sacrifice the low back in order to get the feet closer to the sky. You can choose to stay in stillness or rock side to side, maintaining the distance between your legs. Then slowly release the feet, let them find the mat. Bring the right arm up overhead and roll over onto your right side body. Draw your knees towards your chest, really rounding through the back. You can use the right arm as a pillow, let the left palm rest on the floor or your body. When you feel ready in your own time, find your way up to a tabletop position. From your tabletop, just take a few sways from side to side. Let your head fall heavy. Find stillness in your tabletop. We'll move through a few cat and cows. Big breath in, lift the tailbone, belly drops, heart comes forward, gaze comes up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone around through the spine, chin to chest. Hollow out your chest as you gaze to your belly button. Big breath in, cow pose, lifted tailbone. Heart comes forward and up. Exhale like a Halloween cat, press firm through the hands. Gaze to your belly button. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale. Exhale. Taking 2 more, following your own rhythm of breath. Land in your neutral spine. Big toes come to touch, knees go wide. Shift your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. Your forehead can come to rest on the floor, onto a pillow or a block. Fingertips spread wide as they slide away from you. Let your hips grow heavy into your heels. Stay low in the hips. Start to walk the hands towards the top right corner of the mat. Left hip is reaching down towards the left heel. Coming to a little bit of a side stretch for the left here. Come back through center. Big breath here in the center. Then over to the left. The right hip is heavy here. The fingers are reaching away from the right hip. The right hip's reaching down towards the right heel. It's okay if it doesn't touch, it's just the direction that it's heading. Come back through center. And rise up all the way for your tabletop. Take a couple sways from side to side, let that go. And we'll come to find a comfortable seated position. You can sit cross-legged if that works for you. You can sit up onto your knees or onto a pillow or a block. As long as you can find a tall spine, shoulders over hips. Take a few circles with the torso in one direction. And then the other. And find stillness in the center. We're going to send the shoulders up towards the ears, back behind you, and down your back, creating distance between the earlobes and the shoulders. Still sitting up tall, without shifting the shoulders, start to draw the right ear down towards the right shoulder. And gaze is forward. Create a little bit of a stretch up the left side of your neck. Tall spine. Option here to reach the left fingertips out to the left side of the room, hovering them slightly above the floor. creating as long of a line as you can between the ring finger, the middle finger of the left hand, and the top of your head, as if someone's pulling them each in opposite directions. Really think about drawing the left earlobe up towards the sky. Start to slowly turn your gaze down towards the right armpit, tucking the chin in towards the chest slightly. Just shifting where it is that we're feeling the stretch here. It may feel nice to turn the palm of your hand to face the room behind you. Bend the elbow and bring the back side of your hand to your low back. Press the back of your hand into your back as you draw the elbow forward. Gaze is still down to the armpit. Still lifting that left earlobe up towards the sky. Slowly release. Let your hand return to center. Draw your chin in towards your chest. Gaze comes forward. Inhale, reach out both of your arms. On the exhale, left hand finds the floor, reach up and over to the left. Really pressing down firm through the right hip. Stay open through the chest. The right shoulder is going to want to dip down towards the floor. Keep it open to the room in front of you. Maintain distance between the left ear and left shoulder by keeping integrity in the left shoulder joint. Come back through center. We're going to change the cross of the legs if they're crossed, so extend the legs long and bring the opposite leg in front this time, just staying even from side to side. The body naturally chooses the path of least resistance, which means you most likely always sit the same cross-legged, same leg in front. So it's good to switch it up. Get the body used to sitting with the legs crossed in opposite directions. Take a few circles with the torso. Both directions. Find your neutral. Shoulders are going to go up towards the ears, back behind you and down. Drawing the shoulder blades into the back, into the ribs, sitting up tall. Start to bring the right ear this time. Just kidding, that one already feels stretched out. Left ear this time. Down towards the left shoulder. Coming into the opposite stretch of your neck. So again, just checking in here first. See how it feels. Maybe you're already feeling enough of a stretch. Keep the hands right where they are. Otherwise, you can extend the right fingers out long beside you. Gaze is neutral. Drawing the right fingertips away from the top of your head. Lifting that right earlobe high towards the ceiling. Slowly start to turn the gaze down towards the left armpit. Shoulders are still stacked over the hips, they're not tipping over to the left. You can turn the palm of the right hand to face the room behind you. Thumb points down. Start to bend at the elbow. Bring the back side of your hand to your low back. The thumb now starts to point up, palm faces behind you. Press the back side of your hand firm into the low back, and you can play with the position, the elbow reaching it forward and backwards. See where you feel the stretch most. Keep your gaze down towards the armpit, your chin slightly tucked. Creating as much distance as you can between the right shoulder and the right earlobe. Slowly release the right hand first, let the chin roll down through center. And gaze comes neutral. Inhale, reach up high. As you exhale, right hand comes to the floor beside you, reach up and over to the right for your side bend on this side. Really drawing the low ribs of the left side up towards the ceiling. Left hip stays rooted in the floor. And keep breathing. Come back through center. Release the left arm. Maybe give the shoulders a bit of a roll in both directions. Let that go. Come to sit with the legs extended long in front of you. You can lift up your hips, slide the glutes out from beneath you to allow yourself to sit a little taller. Maybe pointing and flexing through the ankles, drawing circles with the toes in both directions. Land in stillness, ankles flexed, bend through the right knee. Bring the sole of the right foot to the floor, sit up tall. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, wrap the left arm around the right knee, or just take hold of it with the left hand. Right hand comes behind you, find a twist as you gaze over the right shoulder. So you can use that left hand or left arm to draw the right knee through midline. Right hand behind you is pressing into the floor to lengthen the spine. First you lengthen and then you use that left hand or left arm to maybe deepen the twist a little bit. Draw the gaze over the right shoulder, and when you feel you've reached your limit, draw the eyes even further yet to the right. Slowly return through center. We're going to pick up the right foot, cross it over the left leg and lower it down. From here, start to draw the right foot towards the left outer hip. You can come up onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot. The right heel is drawing in towards the outer hip. It's okay if it doesn't get there. We're working towards stacking the knees one on top of each other. Now you may have quite a bit of distance between the foot and the hip. The knee may be lifted up pretty high. That's normal. You can also place a pillow or block beneath the knee to add some support. We want that left leg extended long and active, toes drawn towards your face for a deep flex in the ankle. Tall spine here. And then we're going to start to fold forward over the right leg. So you can walk the fingertips forward. We just want to keep a straight back if you're able. You want to be feeling a stretch into the back of the left thigh, and if you're starting to feel it into the low back, it could mean that you're starting to round like a cat spine. Dig your tailbone deep into the floor as the top of your head is drawn away from it. And rather than trying to touch your forehead to your shin, think about reaching your belly button beyond the left knee. Stay open through the chest and the collarbones. From here, turn the palms to face up. Let the arms go passive. Let the upper body ragdoll over the legs, releasing all the effort. Even let go of the left ankle. Let the toes of the left foot fall where they may. Start to round to the back, chin to chest. Now it's really important here in this passive rounded fold that you're not forcing yourself to go deeper than the body wants to naturally go. Let gravity do the work for you instead. Think about breathing length into the entire left leg from the heel to the hip. And as you exhale, softening through the entire upper body, letting go of all effort, releasing any muscles that are contracted. Every breath in lengthening, every breath out softening. Slowly, inch by inch, rise up, allowing the head to come up last. Extend the right leg long to meet the left. Give them a wiggle. Draw some circles with your toes. You can even reach your hands behind you, turn the fingertips away from your low back. Open your heart up to the sky as you gaze up. Just finding a gentle back bend here to reverse that forward fold. Breathing into the front of your chest, the ribs. Then find your neutral. We're going to move to the opposite side, first by bending the left knee. Bring the sole to the foot on the inside of the right leg on the floor. Big breath in, lengthen and lift up. As you exhale, right hand is going to take hold of the left knee, or you can wrap the right arm around the left knee. Left hand comes behind you to add length to your spine before deepening your twist. Every breath in, you're pressing down through your left fingertips. You can also bring your hand up onto a block if you have one. Or you can place it on your low back if you prefer. Just really focus on lengthening first, and then you can use the right hand or right arm on the left knee to deepen your twist. But never being forceful. Turn the gaze over the left shoulder, and once you've reached your limit, shift the gaze of the eyes alone a little further to the left. Slowly release, come back through center. We're going to pick up the left leg, cross it over the right. Allow the sole of the left foot to land on the floor. And then from here, we're going to start to slide that left foot over to the right and back towards the right hip. So it's the left heel reaching for the right hip, toes are pointing away from the hip. Maybe the knees are able to stack on top of one another, or they're heading in that direction. want to find a nice tall spine first. And then lining up the sternum, the center of your chest, with the right leg. Start to fold forward with a flat back. We want to make sure it's the center of your chest coming towards the leg, not one of your shoulders. You can bring the fingertips to the floor and start to walk them forward towards the right ankle. But once you notice the low back starting to round, just pause there. Really draw your awareness to lengthening through the spine, rooting down through the tailbone, drawing the belly button beyond the right knee, the heart beyond the right ankle, and the forehead beyond the right toes. You should be feeling this stretch into the back of the right thigh, maybe into the right hip. And then from here, we're going to turn the palms to face up. Start to round through the spine. Release the ankle, the right leg, passively fold forward, letting the head fall heavy. It's okay to be feeling a little bit of a stretch here now into the low back, as long as it's not pinching or pain. Any fiery sensations, if it is, please come out. If it is just tension in the muscles, start to send your breath to that area. Invite it to expand in all directions as you breathe in and soften as you breathe out, releasing that tension and creating space for your body to sink a little deeper. The moment, though, that you start to grip, to pull, or to force yourself down, the muscles are going to panic, clench, and tighten. May lead to injury and will most certainly take you longer to get into the pose than if you were to simply relax and let go of all effort. Feel the natural movement with breath. Every time you breathe in, there's a natural expansion to your body, a lengthening. As you breathe out, your body will release little bits of tension, will soften and surrender to gravity's pull. Start to inch yourself back up, little by little, letting the head come up last. Extend the left leg long to meet the right. Give the knees a bit of a bobble, a bit of a shake. Draw some circles with the toes. And take that gentle back bend once again. Bring the hands behind you, open your heart up to the sky. Gaze up. Find your neutral. We're going to do one more little forward bend here. This time we're going to take the legs as wide as you can, creating a V shape with the legs. Sit up nice and tall. Then start to walk the hands forward with the flat back. Keep the toes pointing up. One of my feet are out of the screen here, so we're just going to shimmy over a little bit. We've got long legs. Toes are drawn towards the face, fingertips are walking forward. And same thing, this time we want to be feeling the stretch into the thighs and not in the low back. If you're feeling the low back, it's probably a good sign that you're rounding and you're going a little too deep. Think about drawing the hip creases away from your wrists towards the back of the room, pressing the tailbone firm into the mat. Slowly release, walk the hands back up. Start to slide the feet together, bending at the knees. Bring the soles of the feet to touch, creating that diamond shape with the legs. Sit up tall. I like to use my hands behind me here to add length to my spine. Just take little bobs up and down with the knees, press the feet firm into one another. And pausing for a few breaths here. Again, you can have the hands behind you, you can take hold of the feet or the ankles. Whatever variation allows you to have a tall spine, shoulders over hips. The closer the heels are to the pelvis, the more of a stretch you'll be feeling. So you can draw the heels in a little bit closer and really guide the outer edges of the knees down towards the mat. We're not going to push or force them, but you can use the muscular strength of your thighs to send them down towards the floor. Slowly release, draw the soles of the feet to the mat, knees come into touch. And then we'll lower down onto our back. And with the feet on the mat, start to walk them a little bit wider to the edges. Knees still bent. Let the knees tip into touch. The arms can extend up overhead or out to the sides. Just take this opportunity to allow the low back to reset into the mat, especially with some of those forward folds. You may be feeling a little bit of sensation in the low back. So start to direct your breath there. As you breathe in, notice the low back pressing into the earth beneath you. As you breathe out, it softens, returning to its natural curve. Big breath in, expanding into the low back. Feel it press into the mat. Exhale, it softens. Continuing with your own rhythm of breath. Keep the feet nice and wide apart. Draw the knees away from each other as well. So the knees and the feet are wide. Tip the knees over to the right, coming onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot, the inner arch of the left. The left hip is going to lift up a little bit. So the left hip is lifting up and shifting over to the right. As the left knee presses down towards the mat, it does not have to touch. If you find the left knee is close to the floor, you can always place the right foot on top of it for a little added weight. If the left knee is more than, say, 6 inches above the floor, you're probably better to just let gravity do the work for you. If you start to put the right foot on top of it, all the legs are lifted. You may not have quite the stretch that you're looking for anyways. You're better to just let gravity do that for you. Draw the knees back through center. Feet are wide, soles of the feet on the floor. And then allow the knees to tip over to the left this time, opposite twist. Just checking in, noticing if you're a little bit tighter on one side than the other. Yeah, and if that right knee is reaching down for the mat and you find that it's quite close, like an inch or so away from the floor, you can always place the left foot on top of it to encourage it down a little bit closer. Never being forceful, just applying gentle weight to the area. Slowly come back through center. Maybe a gentle windshield wiper from side to side, neutralizing the spine, the hips, the pelvis. Heel toe the feet towards one another. Draw the knees in towards your chest, give them a squeeze. Again, just releasing through the low back a little bit. You can draw some circles with the knees. in both directions. Land in the center. Soles of the feet find the floor. Knees open up like a book, creating a diamond shape with the legs. Bring the arms out at your sides, palms face up. Tuck the shoulder blades beneath you. Find a long neck. Let the soles of the feet support one another, taking away all effort from the legs. Draw your awareness to the points of contact between the feet and the floor, between the pelvis and the floor, between the head and the floor. Let those 3 points of contact down the midline of your body really ground you here in this space and in this moment. As you take a big breath in through the nose, notice how those points of contact may change. And as you breathe out, notice how the areas around them change. Continue to take long breaths in and out through the nose. And slowly, one by one, you can extend your legs long to the bottom of your mat. Let the toes fall heavy to the sides, releasing any effort from the legs. Settling into stillness. Maybe you invite the eyes to close. As tempting as it may be to end your practice and go on with your day, offer yourself a few moments in stillness, a few moments of quiet, of breath, here lying on your back. Gives your body that extra little bit of time to really absorb the benefits of its practice. Can also teach you to be more accepting and more open to the thoughts that race through your mind day to day. Give you the tools, the breath, to be able to better let them go. Finding stillness here on your mat makes you better apt to be okay with stillness off the mat. Shavasana is and has for a long time been known as one of the hardest yoga postures because it is so challenging for so many of us to stay in stillness and in silence. When you do feel ready to get up and go, do so slowly, do so mindfully, and take with you a little bit of your practice that you've had here today into the rest of your day and your week to follow. And such gratitude as always. Namaste.